Hello and welcome to Breezy Chatter. Today I'm going to be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 1, Marry Me in Tennessee. And we have our five couples, Kirsten and Shaquille, Dominique and McKinley, Chris and Nicole, Eris and Jasmine, and Gina and Clint. We have all of the couples meeting with their friends and family to let them know that in 2 weeks they will be getting married to a stranger. Let's start with Kirsten and Shaquille. Kirsten's 32, Shaquille is 31. We have Kirsten breaking the news to her family about the fact that she's going to get married. She has a very close relationship with her mom. Her mom's very supportive of her. And Kirsten says that she likes things her way. You can tell that she exercises. She's very much into her appearance. She's highly educated. She has a master's degree in business education. She has a bachelor's in health services administration. And she also is a real estate agent. She's church-going and God-fearing. And what she's looking for is a man that is good-looking, physically fit, hardworking, handsome, and matches her education-wise as well. So it sounds like Kirsten is looking for a man who's exactly the way she is. But she said that she is willing to open her heart and mind to allow something good to happen. So although listening to her talk, it doesn't really sound like she's all that open. She knows exactly what she wants, but she's saying that she's willing to open her heart and mind. So we'll see what happens when she meets up with Shaquille and if he is the right guy for her. And then we have Shaq. He is 31. He is known as the devout workaholic. He's working on his doctorate right now, and he's working as an executive director. He says that he has everything that he wants except a mate. He is lonely, and he told his friends that he's tired of being alone. And the next couple we have is Dominique and McKinley. Dominique is 25, and McKinley is 34. Dominique says that she has an old soul, and she loves her a good girls' night out. She's going to have to limit how often she goes out with the girls, but she still very much wants to continue to do that. She was raised by her mom. She's very close to her mother, and her mother signed her up for the show. So I find that very interesting, especially at such a young age. And then we have McKinley. He's 34. He is known as the introverted dreamer, and he owns his own business. And according to his friends, he's very emotional, I guess, when it comes to breakups. They talked about how when they were in school together, he wrote a love poem to his ex-girlfriend. So it sounds like he has a hard time letting go. Well, at least he did when he was younger. We don't know where his headspace is now. But he did say something that to me was sort of a red flag, which was that he'd been dating a woman for 2 years and they were talking about marriage. And then he got a text message. It was her letting him know that she had just gotten engaged to someone else. And I saw that as a huge red flag. It's quite clear that McKinley does not know how to read the room, or this woman is just totally cruel. Did she tell him it was over and he just wasn't understanding that she was done with him and he's still thinking that they're together? Why would she show him a photograph of the ring and say that she's just gotten engaged? Was that her only way of breaking it off with him? So I don't know, something about that story is kind of creepy. And if she did that to him and she managed to fool him for 2 years while she was with him and someone else, shame on her. But if he couldn't read the room and didn't know that the relationship was over or wouldn't accept that the relationship is over, I think Dominique's going to have a problem on her hands. And I'm going to have to say shame on Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper if that is the case. And then we have the next couple, Chris and Nicole. Chris is 36. Nicole is 32. Nicole is serving up the sass while Chris is Mr. Nice Guy. Nicole, she's a dog lover. She's from New York. She's been in Nashville, I think, for a couple years. She's half Italian, half Jewish, and she's a little quirky. And then we have Chris. He was giving me corny vibes. He says that he feels like he's too nice and people take advantage of him. He's really big on the comic relief. He does all kinds of things to try to make people laugh. He's a hopeless romantic. He's chivalrous. He's Mr. Flowers. He's Mr. Candy. And he is a dog lover, as is Nicole, so that's a good thing. And his parents were divorced at a young age. And he said he's going to continue to be Mr. Nice Guy. He's not going to change who he is to please other people. He's going to be himself. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens between Chris and Nicole. Then we have Airris and Jasmine. Airris is 39. Jasmine is 32. And Jasmine is known as the Queen Without a King. And Airris is reformed and ready to love. So we have Airris meeting up with his family to let them know that in 2 weeks he's going to be married. And his cousin Felina, she said, no, don't do this. You're not prepared. You don't know what it's like to be in a committed relationship. You've never lived with anyone. You're putting the cart before the horse. You're moving way too fast. And of course, Airris said that he's ready. He also said that he can be a bit of a perfectionist and that he had to come to realize that he's imperfect. So why is he looking for perfection in someone else? So we'll have to see if he was just paying lip service or if he really believes that no one is perfect and he's going to stop looking for perfection in his partners. He also talked about ghosting. He said that he was known for ghosting women, but when he got ghosted by a woman, he didn't know how to handle it. He was distraught for a very long time. He got the Marcus Graham treatment. He was treating women poorly and he got that treatment in return. And for some reason, that was a cataclysmic moment. He was distraught. He had to collect himself and get himself together. And instead of just saying, well, this is what I get, this is what I deserve, let me do better. But no, he said that he took it really hard and it took time for him to recover from that. And his cousin is absolutely right. When the family is telling you the real about someone, believe it. When the family's talking trash about their loved ones, believe it. And then we have Jasmine. She's 32. She's a pageant girl. She was Miss Tennessee. She was Miss Virgin Islands. And now she's a cheerleading coach. And she said that she's been in relationships that lasted 4 to 5 years at a time. And when it was time to talk about wedding bells and getting married, these men, that's when they sort of stepped off. They were not interested in marrying her. They were just interested in wasting her time. There's nothing worse than wasting 4 or 5 years of your life with someone who knows that they don't want to marry you, but they don't mind wasting your life. So we're going to move on to the next one. We've got Gina and Clint. Gina is 35. Clint is 40. And Gina is spontaneous. She's styling and she's slaying. She is a hairstylist. And she believes that the world is your oyster. She likes to travel. She likes adventure. She's very hardworking. She owns her own business. And she said she's been meeting men that are not ready to commit. So she thought maybe Married at First Sight would be a great avenue for her to meet the man that she's looking for. And then we have Clint. He is known as seeking a first mate because he is a sailor. And he comes from a family of sailors. His mother is a sailing instructor. And he is also an experienced pilot. And he loves adventure also. And his motto is to embrace the crazy. So he did tell his friends that he's going to get married at first sight. And it sounds like if the partner that is chosen for him is not as adventurous as he is, it's going to be a deal breaker. Then we have the guys and the girls meeting for a mixer. All the guys are meeting together in one spot. The women are meeting at another, and they're getting to know each other. They're asking questions about intimacy and what they're looking for, what they're hoping for. Do they want children? We have Shaq hoping that the woman that's selected for him is a 10 out of 10 in his eyes. McKinley said he'll settle for 7 out of 10. Nicole said she has not been intimate with a man since she's moved to Nashville. She's looking for an open and honest guy. And then we have Gina. She's looking for someone with a sense of humor, someone who doesn't take life too seriously. We've got Clint. He has a hunger and a thirst for life. Dominique, she's all for the girls' night out. Jasmine says she has baby fever and she has 4 dogs as a result of it. As soon as she gets married, she's going to be ready to be talking about having kids. And then we've got Airris and Clint, who said just 2 weeks ago they were intimate with a woman. I don't know if it's a woman from their past, a woman that they met on the streets, but they've been intimate just 2 weeks ago, just before they found out that they were selected to be on MAFS. Aris did say in the After Hours segment that he's single until he's not. So it could have been the night before. It could have been at the bachelor party. That's how I take it. He could have been at his bachelor party and, he would have did his thing because he's still single. I thought that was kind of crass, but it is what it is. He didn't know he was going to be on the show. He did what he did. That's his business. We saw the bachelor and bachelorette party. There were strippers. The guys, they didn't really seem to be having that great of a time. They were just there. They were looking. Nobody really wanted to touch. We didn't get that Olajuwon energy going on. They were kind of boring in a way. Now the ladies were going in. They were having the time of their lives. They were really enjoying the strippers. Dominique, she sort of started chopping it up with one of the strippers. They hit it off. I don't think there was anything else going on after that. It just was in the moment and they seemed to hit it off. It was cool. And now we see Kirsten and Shaq. They're about to be married. We've got Shaq. He is crying. Oh my God. I was thinking about Zachary, watching him cry. I said, oh my gosh, But, he pulled himself together and he went out there and he was just waiting for his bride. So in the next episode, in episode 2, I'm sure we'll see how they interact with each other. We did see a little tease where she does not kiss him on the lips. It didn't even look like she wanted him to kiss her on the cheek. She gave him the whole side of her head. I think he was kissing her hair. So it's leading me to believe that maybe she's not physically attracted to him. It's going to be an interesting season, that's for certain. And it is prediction time. Okay, so we've got Kirsten. She is an Aquarius. Shaquille is an Aries. And I don't think they're going to work out because based on what I've seen so far, I don't think Shaquille is Kirsten's type. I think he looks good on paper, but I don't think he looks good to her aesthetically. And he's not a bad looking man, but for some reason, I just don't think they're going to work out. And then we have Dominique. She is a Leo and McKinley is a Gemini. And I think that Dominique is a little young. And I also think that McKinley doesn't really know how to read the room. So with that said, I don't think that couple's going to match either. I also saw it looks like there's going to be some drama between them. We'll have to wait and see what unfolds there. But that's another couple I think is absolutely not going to make it. And then we have Chris and Nicole. They're both Libras. They got that Libra energy going. The cardinal signs. They are dog lovers. I think they're both kind of quirky in their own little ways. I do feel like the potential is there for them to make it, especially since Nicole said that she's willing to do whatever it takes to make it work. And Chris seems a little easygoing, a little corny, but a little easygoing. And for some reason, I think there's a chance there. So I'm going to say yes for Chris and Nicole. And we have Aris, who's a Taurus. Jasmine is a Cancer. And I don't think they're going to make it. I think that Aris's family knows him better than he knows himself. And I just don't think there's going to be chemistry there between the two of them. I just don't see it working out. I think Aris is not ready for a serious relationship, like his cousin said. And then last but not least, we've got Gina and Clint. Gina is a Taurus. Clint is a Virgo. We got those earth signs happening. And I think earth signs seem to get along very well with each other. They both are looking for adventure. They're both business oriented. If any couple is going to make it, I believe that Clint and Gina will make it. So those are my predictions. You guys tell me what you think. And that is my commentary. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe, and leave comments. Thank you for your time. Until next time, ta-ta.